Hi, I'm Marna and this is the Dolls Rescue Channel, and today we're going to do something I have done before in side videos but have not done as a tutorial, and this is actually going to go up on my website for easy sewing tips on whimsicalblythe.com. And what we're going to do is make some gathered skirts, one for the Neo, our standard size Blythe. What I'm doing will fit any of the standard size Blythe from Kinner down. And then we're going to do a Middie, and I have cut my fabric. The Neo is 5 inches wide and approximately 7 inches long. There is a 4-inch piece of elastic ready to go in the channel we're going to make to gather the skirt. These are very easy. Any beginner sewer could do this. The Middie-sized piece of fabric cut is 2.5 inches wide and approximately 3.5 inches long. These will be your channel, or your hem and your channel ends, and for your Middie, you will need a very thin piece of elastic. When you measure, if you measure these for these dolls because you forgot what size to make these elastic bands, or any other dolls you make these for, always measure around your doll's hips for your measurement. I believe that is 2.5. Let's measure. And by doing that, yeah, 3 inches. By doing it the way I did, without pulling that tight around the hips, 2 things. One, you never measure here. If you measure here and you cut your elastic, you're going to be cramming that over the hips. When you cram these hips at this point, you will break that joint inside the doll's hips, and you will have those floppy hips from then on, because you can't really repair that. You can put rubber bands in it to gusset it and make it a bit tighter, but it'll never be the same. So we need a 3-inch piece of elastic for our Middie, and I do not pull that taut when I measure. And the reason is, once we get this in the channel, we're going to pull that tight to make our seam up the back. The first thing I'm going to do is put in my hem, followed by the channel for the elastic. And the way I'm going to do that, let me push this over so you can see right. I'm going to take this and make a very small turn, and then I'm going to do it again, and that finishes the edge very nicely. Once you start, you just hold that the same size. When I get to the channel, I'm going to take that same small tuck and then a wider one. And the wider one is so that we can feed our elastic into that channel to make the gather. When you get your elastic cut, add a safety pin on either end. This larger one will be your stopper, and this will be your feeder, the one that you scoot through the fabric. I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine, and I'm going to show you how to lock or knot your edges on a sewing machine. Forgive my fingernails, time is ticking. Also, I did want to mention that with most fabrics, there is a top and a bottom. And to me, all the leaves are going up more on this end. So this will be my channel end or my waist end, and this will be my bottom or my hemline. Okay, I am turning this over. Usually I do my hem first, but I wanted to show you. And then I'm turning it again, thick enough for my channel. And what I'm going to do is I'm putting this under the foot of my sewing machine. This is the forward and reverse button here. And you go forward, then you push reverse, and you do this for 2 to 3 stitches. When you get to the other end, you do the same thing again. When you get your channels in, if you will take a 2 safety pins is the best way that I have found. You can do it with 1. I used to hold it in my mouth while I ran it through, but now I do 2 safety pins. It works out. I use these great big ones so that it won't follow through. And if you just run these into the channel and work that back and forth using your thumbs and your fingers on the other side, of course, and pull that through. See, when it gets to the end, that will stop it. Pull that all the way through and pull it tight. And what we're going to do next is carry these over to the sewing machine. We're going to pull these out about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch on either side. If you pull them out an inch, that would be too much because that would be 2 inches off, but a 1/2 inch is perfect. What we're going to do is you have to line that up as perfect as you can. And I run that knot all the way past the elastic and back. And then you take that seam all the way to the bottom. I'll show you at the machine. All right, so here I am at the machine. I'm taking that forward, back, and all the way down to the bottom. See how one side, how that happens? That is not uncommon. Should it happen? No. I kind of made that happen so I could show you what I do to hide that. What you want to do is get all the way to the end, and then you want to fold that under right at your hem, making it even. Not at the top, not at the middle, but if you hide it in your hem, and you make that as carefully the same as you can, put that knot in, stop, turn your machine, cut the extra threads off, cut your extra elastic off. Okay, pull up your, after you got that cut, pull up your needle, move your sewing machine to your zigzag. I don't know many machines that do not have a zigzag stitch. And then you run that zigzag, you put a knot in both ends, top and bottom, and what this does is finish your edge to make them look nicer and not fraying. You cut that off. Any extra threads out to the side, that's from your fabric, or from my fabric. Turn that inside right, and then there's a trick to this. I'll show you at the table so you can see better. Okay, when you finish your skirt and turn it inside out, this is what it'll look like. This is how you make that gathering more even, is you just work that fabric around till the same amount is all around your elastic. Then turn your skirt over and take a tug and a shake at that seam. And what that does is it pulls that seam and kind of hand presses it. And it makes a nicer skirt all the way around your doll's waist. And here's Esther in her new Christmas gathered, oh, I have that a little, the line goes in the back. I was trying to straighten out her shirt that I want to mention. One thing I do want to say is when you pick out the colors for your thread that you're sewing with, you either use your background. I use black because the background is black, or your most prominent color. A green would have been all right. Red would have stuck out a little bit, so that's what you would do there. And on this, I used a very light blue. Excuse me. I wanted to point out these shirts. I threw this on her because this is a quick, easy way for your Blythe to have a shirt that matches about everything. I bought this at the Dollar Tree. I did a lot of trimming on the loose threads, but it's a cute enough shirt, and like I said, it matches a lot of things. The pants you can tailor to fit her a little better. Even a beginner sewer could do that. It also comes with Barbie shoes and a Barbie purse, and a lot of us have all those dolls. As far as a shirt for the Middie Blythe, you'll have to go to my crochet patterns for that. And if it's not up there yet, it will be soon. Thank you for watching the Dolls Rescue channel. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe.